Hey everybody, this is Pastor Larry and Pastor Katie, and obviously this week we're not coming from our studio in Dallas, but we're actually right here in Paris, France. And the reason we're here is one, is we're flying with a plane of Olim that you have sponsored, Jewish people from this community that's making Aliyah to the nation of Israel, and we're doing that in a couple days. But we're also going around, and we met with many officials and talked about the incredible increase of anti-Semitism, not only in Paris, but in France and around the world. Yeah. And we're about to go to a community, a Jewish community that Tiz and I visited years ago when we came and preached in France, in Paris. It was actually the largest Christian church in all of France, and it doesn't exist anymore. And we went to this Jewish community. We had lunch with the gentleman, Mr. Goldenberg, who was the only survivor in his family of the Holocaust. And he had a very famous delicatessen where everybody would come and eat. That's all gone. And so what we're seeing here in Paris and what we're talking to people about is the amazing rise of anti-Semitism that's, they're saying, all over Europe. And that's why it's so important that we stand up, Kate, and we make a voice on Israel, for the nation of Israel, for Judea and Samaria, and that we stand up against anti-Semitism, not only here in Paris or in Dallas, but everywhere around the world.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting. He said since October 7th, they've had an increase in anti-Semitism of 300%.
Yeah.
300%. That's shocking. And it breaks my heart that we're walking around and our friend, our Jewish friend here, Shmulik, who's with us, has to take his kippah off.
Yeah. Has to wear a ball cap because it's too dangerous. They told Katie wearing the Star of David. Now we have security with us. Yeah. She said it's too, the one gentleman said he wouldn't let his daughter wear one because it's too dangerous. And so that's why we need to, thank God we've got President Trump in the White House right now. Yeah. But we've got to keep speaking up to every politician and to every pastor. But to say to every politician, we won't vote for you if you're anti-Semitic, if you're not pro-Israel, if you are not allowing Israel to defend itself. And so come with us. We're going to show you a whole bunch of stuff, but keep us in prayer, keep Israel in prayer, keep the nation of France in prayer, and all of Europe, because this anti-Semitism that is rising, escalating, how much?
300%.
300% since October 7th. Yeah. It's going to be defeated. Thank you for standing with us as we stand with the nation of Israel. We're Pastors Larry and Tiz Huch.
We want to welcome you to our YouTube channel and invite you to subscribe and be a member of all the resources that we make available to you.
Many of you will remember 10 years ago, I think it was January 9th in 2015, this place was attacked by terrorists. 3 men were eventually killed. They took hostages. And the reason we're standing here,
It's a kosher market.
Kosher market, Jewish market. And as we're standing here, we've just been here a few minutes. People are driving by shouting, ISIS, ISIS, ISIS. This is what these people live with every day. But Manuel, we're standing here. 10 years ago, it was a terrorist attack. Why is it on fire? Why the fire now?
The fire now because before 3 days ago, we don't know who, but some guys tried to burn again the supermarket, and the police didn't catch the guys that did that. But in France, you see every day anti-Semitism act against
Every day.
every day.
How many
Before
days ago was it that the rabbi got
with
beat
the
up?
rabbi in Orleans, 1
days
hour
ago?
from 1 hour from 1 year ago, 1 hour from Paris. But you know, in fact, every day you have something, but you can't hear about all the acts that happen in Paris.
You know, and we've been working with Karen Hazel. Come in, Shmulik, a little bit. We've been working with Karen Hazel to help Olim make Aliyah from France, from Ethiopia, from Ukraine, from Russia, wherever. And we've known about anti-Semitism here in Paris.
Right.
But not to I didn't understand it to this extent.
Yeah.
Explain a little bit what you know, what we've seen, what Yonakin has explained, what Manuel has explained about anti-Semitism here in France.
You know, it is unbelievable that today, in 2025, and after what happened during the Holocaust here, over here, on this land, Jewish people today, they need to be afraid to show anything that can recognize them as Jew. To
Star of David,
the Star of David,
kippah.
to wear a kippah in Paris, it's very, very dangerous.
Wow.
People are even afraid to put a mezuzah on their door. Mezuzah, it actually means that you are encouraging people to break into your house
And rob you.
So it is a shame that in such a country that is so developed and so educated, still they let anti-Semitism happen over here.
We were in a restaurant last night and ran into some Jewish friends accidentally, and the wife said, "I was so thrilled to see you guys wearing your Star of David, because we can't do that. It's unusual to do that." And so you need to realize that this is such an important thing, not only in Bible prophecy, but it's such an important thing of saving lives, saving Jewish lives, to make Aliyah to Israel. And with Karen Hazot and the Jewish embassy agency, you're not allowed to raise funds here in France for Jews to make Aliyah.
Right.
Ken?
Yes.
Explain that a little bit.
It's 100% correct. In France, we're not allowed to raise fund to support Jewish from France to make Aliyah, because the government don't want the people to leave.
Right.
And we can all understand why.
Sure.
At the same time, we are allowed to raise funds to support Jewish who wants to make Aliyah from other countries. But yet, Karen Hayesod is looking for fund and support from other places, like you, supporting tomorrow. The plane that will come will be funded by New Beginning Church.
Yeah.
But it is very, very sad that today every Jewish building, a shop, everything become a target.
Yeah.
It's a target for the Muslim community to attack. And if you go in the street, you need to think twice. If someone speak Hebrew, it's very dangerous to do it over here.
Wow.
To go like a kippah, it's very dangerous. And it's important to know that the French Jewish community know that despite that maybe the life looks good over here, they live under a threat. And many people in France, even today, the Jewish people, they go to Emmanuel's office at the Jewish agency, they're opening their file, they do everything that they can in order to prepare for them to make Aliyah to Israel. And we need to do in Israel, our obligation, Karen Hayesod, to do everything that we can to welcome them with an open arm when they return back home.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Manuel, but here in France, this year was more than 1,600 anti-Semitic attacks that were reported, and probably many, many more that weren't reported.
It's a lot of acts against the Jewish population, and as you say, not every act is right hand or
reported.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and the fear is, and may this not be the case, but the fear is what they're looking at is how is it going to be next year, the year after, and everybody's saying it's going to get worse unless God does something, and that's what we're praying for. But what I want you to understand is when you stand with us and partner with us to partner with Karen Hazot and partner with Manuel and all the offices, watch your back here, guys, all the offices, all the people in the office that are working with the Jewish community to keep them safe, to protect them, but also when they are ready to make Aliyah to Israel. It's vital that we partner with Karen Hazot right now to do that. Because and to remind you, is that they can't do that from here. It has to come from us outside. It's against the law to raise funds in France for people, from French Jews, to make Aliyah to Israel. And so their prayers are being answered by God through you as we partner with Karen Hazot to bring them to Israel. And Katie, I wanted you to put your part in. They told Katie you ought to hide your Star of David. You know, we're in the hotel. We're going out to get a bite to eat. You got to hide your Star of David. And we met with a lady today, a Jewish lady, and she said, as long as we don't provoke them.
Right.
Well, nobody provoked this.
Right.
But we found out, well, what do you mean provoke? Well, don't wear your Star of David out in the open. Don't wear your yarmulke. Don't carry your prayer book. Don't put a mezuzah on your door.
Right.
That's not a way to live.
No.
People have the right to be Jewish people wherever they live and not have to hide it. And so, Katie, what's your impression of what we've seen over here towards anti-Semitism and standing with the Jewish people?
Yeah, well, I thought it was interesting. Just being openly Jewish, just being yourself is provoking them?
Yeah.
I mean, that's crazy. It's hard for Americans, for Westerners to understand that. We don't have really anything like that in America. So to come here and see it is really eye-opening, and the world needs to see this. The world needs to know the state that Europe is in and the trajectory that they're headed towards and the risk that America has to fall into the same path.
And why this fire now? Exactly 10 years ago, I think it was four days ago, Manuel, this took place. Exactly on the 10-year anniversary.
Right.
And what they're saying, I asked several Jewish people, why do you think that? They're saying you're not safe. We haven't forgotten.
It's intentional.
And we're not going away. What?
It's intentional.
Yeah, it's intentional. It's intentional. And so just think about it. Just because they were Jews, walking in this little shop to buy their groceries, 4 of them were murdered. How many were taken hostage?
17?
17, and one of them was killed during the operation.
Right. And 10 years to the anniversary, they said, don't forget, we haven't gone away.
Yeah.
And as we're standing here, they're driving by saying anti-Semitic slogans and yelling ISIS. And so we want to thank you for helping us. There's a plane tomorrow morning or tomorrow afternoon. We're on a plane with Olim going to Israel, making Aliyah because of you. And then when we land, we're meeting another plane from Russia, correct? That are making Aliyah because of you. The world's in turmoil, but we're standing together. What were you going to say?
I want to add something. First of all, I want to take Pastor Larry the opportunity on behalf of Karen Hazot, on behalf of the Jewish Agency, to thank you for your ongoing support in Aliyah and in Israel, in so many other different projects. I also want to tell you that coming over here to France, by you all coming over here to France, this is a statement. It's a statement that no matter what, we stand with you, the Jewish people, and we will support you and fight for you no matter what. And I think about it. You're going to bring a plane full with Jewish people to Israel in a time of a war.
Yeah.
There is no best way to say victory to our enemy beside bringing our Jewish brothers and sisters to Israel during a wartime and to make Israel flourish and succeed.
Yeah, and we talked about that yesterday a little bit of we're in Paris. When you think of Paris, you think of the Eiffel Tower, you think of a destination that people dream about visiting.
Yeah.
And yet the Jewish people feel we would rather move to Israel that's surrounded in 6, arguably 7 fronts of a war, safer there
Right.
than walking the streets of
Yeah.
Paris.
Right.
I mean, that's hard to
Right.
get your mind around. Safer there than walking the streets of Paris. And another thing that you said yesterday is a pastor stood up in a synagogue here in Paris and blessed the people who you're paying for to make Aliyah to Israel. A pastor speaking in a synagogue and them applauding because they know that they have friends from America and around the world that love them.
That's that's very good days. Like you always said, the best is yet to come.
That's
Best
right.
is yet to come.
Amen.
And the best of it is, it's something Smulik said. He said, it's a sign. When a pastor is standing in a synagogue, we're close to the coming of the Messiah.
Absolutely.
God bless you. Thank you for helping
Yes.
us. We have more work to do, and we'll do it because of you.
The biblical holiday of Pentecost, which in Hebrew is called Shavuot, is one of God's appointed times. It's the second of 3 first fruits offerings we present to the Lord each year, when the Lord promises to open the windows of heaven over your life and pour you out such a blessing there won't be room enough to contain it all. Your Pentecost offering this month will go immediately toward fulfilling Bible prophecy by safely bringing Jews home to Israel. Right now, there is a surge in requests for help with Aliyah because of the dramatic increase in pro-Hamas support. The violence, persecution, and hatred is at levels no one has ever seen before. With your support, we can get our Jewish brothers and sisters out of harm's way and securely resettled in their ancient biblical homeland. In addition, we need your help in funding our partners at the Israel Allies Foundation, who work with governments around the world to fight anti-Semitism and establish critical pro-Israel legislation that will defend the Jewish people. Whether you can contribute $20, $200, or $2,000, your offering of any size will go immediately toward making a difference in these vital charitable projects. To show our appreciation, we want to bless you with Pastor Larry's new book, From Junkie to Jerusalem. This is the amazing story of his journey from the mean streets of St. Louis, smuggling drugs from South America, evading arrest warrants, to finally receiving salvation and the revelation of his Jewish roots and the importance of standing with Israel. Pastor Larry is living proof God can take you from wherever you are to beyond what you could ever imagine. To receive your copy, please take a moment right now and call us at 800-978-8546 and sow your Pentecost First Fruits offering of any size. You can also donate through our secure website at larryhuck.tv, or you can mail your offering to our ministry address. If you prefer, you can give by texting the word Israel along with your donation amount to 28950, or you can use your smartphone to scan the ministry's QR code on the screen. However, the fastest way to bless Israel is to contact us today at 800-978-8546. For those watching today who have never donated to our ministry, please pray about joining us in standing with Israel. With your very first offering, we will add this informative pamphlet, The Exodus. It documents the history of Israel's miraculous exodus from Egypt and is an amazing biblical and archaeological resource. Israel needs our help right now more than ever, so please take this opportunity to sow your very best Pentecost First Fruits offering. You're not only activating some of the greatest spiritual and financial promises God has ever made, you're also being a blessing to the nation of Israel and the Jewish people. We sincerely appreciate your faithful support and thank you for standing with us as we stand with Israel.
You know, we've been doing so many things with Keren Hazot and with the nation of Israel for so many years, and from Holocaust survivors to hospitals to ambulances to bomb shelters, and so many times we've worked with bringing Olim, people making Aliyah from Ethiopia, from the former Soviet Union, from Ukraine, and from France. But this one's different. You know, we always say, Tiz and I and Katie always say, thank you for blessing us so we can be a blessing to Israel. But I want to say thank you deeper from my heart than I've ever done before, because this is the first time that we went to a country, met the people, talked with them. I mean, they became friends. We're you know, Jews and Christians together, Israelis, Americans, French, and they became like family. And we flew on the plane to come here, and we got through, and then they came through, and to see the smiles on their faces, it was emotional. It was just amazing. It was supernatural, because we're you know, and I know it's Bible prophecy, and we're fulfilling Bible prophecy, Christians helping Jews come to the promised land. But it's more than that, and I've never felt this before, Katie, like this. It was Christians and Jews and Americans and Israelis and French and young and old working together so that people can have a better life. Yeah, it is fulfilling Bible prophecy, but working together, and I really felt like it was an example. It's going to be an example to the world that, you know, we can work together to tikkun olam.
Yeah.
To repair a broken world, and everybody in France, the team in France that we worked with from Israel. I mean, it was just an amazing journey.
Yeah, it's so cool to see families coming together. There's a lot of little guys running around, and they're so excited. It's been a long day for them, but they're so excited to be here. It's so beautiful. It's really, really moving to be here with them when they get here. You want to cry. They're crying. It's very emotional. And it's an honor to be a part of this. Not only are they coming from these countries that they're not safe in, but they're coming here because they're coming home. This is where they belong, and they know that. So you partnering with us to bring them home, fulfilling Bible prophecy, is very, very special, to say the least.
Yeah.
It's an honor to be a part of this.
It really is an honor. And you know, I've said this in several interviews today since we've been here, but Shmulik said it, and he said when, you know, here we were yesterday in Paris. Here's a pastor speaking in a synagogue, speaking a blessing over Jewish people that are fulfilling Bible prophecy by making Aliyah to Israel, and they're applauding and they're cheering. And a pastor in a synagogue speaking a blessing, fulfilling Bible prophecy, and Shmulik said, it's the sign that Moshiach, the Messiah, is coming. And you know what? I really do. I believe he is. And so we want to thank you, you know, and Keren Hazot and the Jewish Agency, thank you for allowing us, thank you for allowing all of us to fulfill this Bible prophecy. And I'm going to tell you one other thing. While we were at the Keren Hazot office and the Jewish Agency office, we got to walk in, and a young couple with little kids were being interviewed to make Aliyah. Yeah. And I said, let's help this plane. Let's help this plane. And I'd love to be here and meet that plane as they come off. And it's like, it's hard to explain. It's like these people, they become, in 2 or 3 days, they become our family. And now they're the family in Israel. So thank you for what you've done, and thank you for what you're going to do as we bless the nation of Israel. Don't you know God Almighty will open the windows of heaven and pour out on you and your family, and you bless Israel, he's going to bless you. And I look at the blessing on these families. Can you imagine the multiplied blessing that's on you and your family, because you've helped Tiz and I and Katie and our ministry bless the nation of Israel. We love you. I've always loved you, but I feel a special love for you. Thank you so much.
The biblical holiday of Pentecost, which in Hebrew is called Shavuot, is one of God's appointed times. It's the second of 3 first fruits offerings we present to the Lord each year, when the Lord promises to open the windows of heaven over your life and pour you out such a blessing there won't be room enough to contain it all. Your Pentecost offering this month will go immediately toward fulfilling Bible prophecy by safely bringing Jews home to Israel. Right now, there is a surge in requests for help with Aliyah because of the dramatic increase in pro-Hamas support. The violence, persecution, and hatred is at levels no one has ever seen before. With your support, we can get our Jewish brothers and sisters out of harm's way and securely resettled in their ancient biblical homeland. In addition, we need your help in funding our partners at the Israel Allies Foundation, who work with governments around the world to fight anti-Semitism and establish critical pro-Israel legislation that will defend the Jewish people. Whether you can contribute $20, $200, or $2,000, your offering of any size will go immediately toward making a difference in these vital charitable projects. To show our appreciation, we want to bless you with Pastor Larry's new book, From Junkie to Jerusalem. This is the amazing story of his journey from the mean streets of St. Louis, smuggling drugs from South America, evading arrest warrants, to finally receiving salvation and the revelation of his Jewish roots and the importance of standing with Israel. Pastor Larry is living proof God can take you from wherever you are to beyond what you could ever imagine. To receive your copy, please take a moment right now and call us at 800-978-8546 and sow your Pentecost First Fruits offering of any size. You can also donate through our secure website at larryhuch.tv, or you can mail your offering to our ministry address. If you prefer, you can give by texting the word Israel along with your donation amount to 28950, or you can use your smartphone to scan the ministry's QR code on the screen. However, the fastest way to bless Israel is to contact us today at 800-978-8546. For those watching today who have never donated to our ministry, please pray about joining us in standing with Israel. With your very first offering, we will add this informative pamphlet, The Exodus. It documents the history of Israel's miraculous exodus from Egypt and is an amazing biblical and archaeological resource. Israel needs our help right now more than ever, so please take this opportunity to sow your very best Pentecost First Fruits offering. You're not only activating some of the greatest spiritual and financial promises God has ever made, you're also being a blessing to the nation of Israel and the Jewish people. We sincerely appreciate your faithful support and thank you for standing with us as we stand with Israel.
You know, anytime we stand with Israel, you know God's going to bless us. But folks, prophetically, spiritually, I just feel the Holy
Amen.
Ghost saying this to you. We are in a golden era. Look for the greatest outpouring of God's Spirit in your life, your family, your finances than you've ever seen before.
Amen.
God is going to use you as an example of what it's like to walk under the open windows of heaven, because you're standing with Tiz and I and Katie and blessing the nation of Israel.
Amen.
We love you guys. Keep praying for Tiz. Pretty soon she'll be back.
Yes.
We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
On behalf of Pastors Larry and Tiz, we want to thank you for your faithful and generous support.